Have you ever found yourself playing a game of Dead by Daylight as Survivor and you're getting camped or you're getting tunneled? Or maybe you're playing Killer and the survivors are body blocking so you can't hit another injured survivor. Or maybe they're body blocking so you can't make it to a hook. And then you think to yourself, wow, these are bannable offenses and these players are breaking the rules. I'm gonna report them because I know what I'm talking about. Oh, you haven't done that? Okay, cool. Me either. Today, in the realm of Dead by Daylight entitlement, we're going to be talking about false reporting and spreading misinformation about what is and isn't reportable / bannable in Dead by Daylight. Back when I was doing the top 5 salty reaction series, there were a couple clips that I had set aside in a separate folder of people talking about things that they thought were bannable in the game because of, you know, their entitlement and just being salty over losing. And I kind of wanted to talk about that in its own video, and I'm still going to do that. I'm just going to, you know, share a little bit of the clips, but just the audio. I'll blur everything else out just so you can sort of get a feel for what people are saying. And it's not just these couple clips, these are just a couple I'm just going to use as an example, but I have heard this a lot. I've gotten messages saying these sort of things, saying that I'm going to get banned or I'm getting reported. I'm sure a lot of you who play Killer or Survivor have also received messages saying that you're getting reported. So here's the first clip of a full Survive with friends piggybacking off one another, lecturing a killer that came to their chat to say GG, saying that the way they played is not okay and that they can get reported and banned because of the way they played. Have a listen.
Sorry for playing the game. No, playing the game would be hooking a person, then going after somebody else, letting another person come take somebody off the hook, at least letting them do some gens, and running out the game to actually get points. Play the game smarter, not harder.
Eddie or survivors would have reported you for that. That's all. That's
Yeah.
You basically took the game hostage from the second you got in there.
That's what it's called. You took the game hostage. People would have reported you for that.
Taking the game hostage is actually against Dead by Daylight's terms of service.
That's reportable.
How did I take the whole? That's tunneling, and when you camp, that's body blocking.
You're a good killer, but you're not a smart killer. I'm brutally honest. What can I say?
Yeah, very interesting. I like there was one friend in particular in that group that was really selling it. They really made it seem like they knew what they were talking about.
Taking the game hostage is actually against Dead by Daylight's terms of service.
That is an Oscar-worthy performance of misinformation. I gotta hand it to you. And I like the condescending comment of work smarter, not harder. That makes no sense at all, because the smart play, especially against a Survive with Friends, is to camp and tunnel, because your chances of winning are much higher. You're working harder if you're not doing those strategies. If you're trying to 12 hook everybody, you're definitely working harder. You're definitely going to be trying way harder to win, as opposed to if you use sweatier strats to win more efficiently. So I would say that this killer did play smarter rather than harder, but that's just a common tactic people use to try to put someone beneath them. They insult their intelligence. You know, they say you're a good killer, but you're not a smart one.
You're a good killer, but you're not a smart killer.
Yeah, you gotta try to bring them beneath you. It's a very common tactic, you know, when someone's being a sore loser. Now, in this second short audio clip, we have a killer who is talking to a survivor who came by to say GG and is lecturing them on body blocking because they had been body blocking to save one of their teammates or prevent them from getting hit. And this person is telling that survivor that that is a reportable and bannable offense.
You shouldn't body block. That's against the actual rules to body block. It's on the report button. If I report you for unsportsmanship, like, you know what I mean? That's when it is. It's unsportsmanlike. The only things that isn't camping and tunneling, which aren't part of the rules, but body blocking is.
All right, so body blocking. Bannable offense. Not camping and tunneling, though, which is true. Camping and tunneling is not, although those survivors from the last clip would disagree with you, but you're saying tunneling and camping are not bannable, but body blocking is a bannable offense. Okay, now if we take a look at the official Dead by Daylight FAQ for what is and is not a bannable offense, you can see clearly here that camping, slugging, tunneling, even stream sniping, teabagging, body blocking, and looping are not bannable offenses. And you can see right here, please do not report these. Yeah. Now you can get, you know, bans for cheating and all this stuff. I do want to point out the holding the game hostage part, because the survivors in the first audio clip were saying that it's holding the game hostage to tunnel or to camp. That's a form of taking the game hostage. It's not at all. What they mean by taking the game hostage is if you completely, like, say a survivor's in a corner cleansing a totem and you as a survivor go and stand in front of them so that they cannot move. You block them. That's the body blocking. If anybody does say that body blocking is bannable, that's what they're talking about. Where you actually block someone in and they cannot move and they're stuck there and forced to die. Or if the killer can do the same thing. Because obviously, if a survivor is blocking another survivor in a corner, the killer can save them because all they have to do is down that survivor blocking them. But if the killer chooses to block one survivor in a corner like that, they're completely screwed. There's nothing they can do, and the killer can just sit there until the other survivors finish the gens, and then that survivor's forced to die till the end game. That is taking the game hostage because there's literally nothing that survivor can do throughout the entire game. Now, people might say this, targeting specific users repeatedly in order to ruin their experience. I could easily see someone taking that out of context and making it seem like that's tunneling. Like, oh, you're targeting me specifically, as in going after me multiple times in a match to ruin my game. Not what this statement means at all. This means if you were to go into, like, if you were basically stalking somebody and you were going into their game repeatedly and repeatedly, whether you're going, you know, on someone's team, or if you're a killer going after somebody repeatedly and you're just constantly match after match, like harassing somebody and ruining their games repeatedly, that's what this means. It has nothing to do with tunneling. That's why it says, you know, tunneling is not, you know, reportable. Now, this right here is something I wish that they would do more often, where they actually suspend or ban people for abusing report tickets, people who are reporting for all these ridiculous things. Because, you know, there are actual hackers out there who are, you know, ruining people's games and stuff like that. People who are exploiting the game, the stuff that is bannable. And then you have all these people that are constantly reporting killers or survivors just for playing the game, just for using strategies that are in the game that, again, are clearly not at all reportable or like intended to be reported whatsoever. So it'd be nice if they did this. I feel like, I don't know if anybody's ever gotten banned for writing too many false reports. Probably not. Otherwise, I'm sure the people in those clips I showed you would probably be at least temporarily banned, and then come to the realization that their entitled views are actually completely false. But yeah, this is just something I wanted to talk about briefly, just as somebody who's been reported, I mean, countless times because of camping, tunneling, playing Basement Bubba. Not one time have I ever been temporarily banned, issued a warning, nothing, because all of those things are not reportable at all. And I know there have been people coming into my chat asking, hey, can you get reported or get banned for this? Because that actually is more of a misconception than you'd think, because there are a lot of terms that can have multiple meanings, like the body blocking thing, for example, where you say, oh yeah, body blocking you can report for, but they're not talking about body blocking as survivor. They're talking about body blocking like pinning somebody into a corner until the match is over. It's like a whole other thing, but people get it mixed up. And then they just go on these little false speeches talking about how you're going to get banned because you camped and tunneled me, or because you tried to help your teammate out by taking a hit. I would hate to see any newer players feel like they can't play a certain way because they feel like they're going to get banned. And I'd also hate for new players to adapt to the same mentality that these people have and then start preaching it, you know, on their high horse to everybody else about, you can't play this way because I'll report you and you'll get banned. You know, so I just, you know, wanted to clear the air for anybody who might need the air cleared. And also, it was just kind of funny as well, hearing these little tangents. As always, just play the game how you want, as long as you aren't exploiting or cheating or breaking any actual rules. And if you lose to these legitimate tactics, get over it and move on. Get better. Use it as a learning experience. There's always another lobby, another game waiting for you after the rough ones you have. I promise it's going to be okay. Let me know in the comments if you've ever been reported for a playstyle or over something really silly, and people threaten to report you or say you're going to get banned. Because I know I've heard a lot of funny stories, but I'm sure you guys have lots of stuff you'd like to share. So let me know in the comments. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.